Once upon a time, there was an incredibly handsome trainer. This trainer found a very special Pokemon. The two became the best of friends. They were inseparable. The Pokemon was very powerful, and many trainers sought its immense power. One such trainer was the evil snake, Barrett. Barrett stole the trainer's beloved Pokemon. The trainer knew, in order to defeat Barrett, he had to unlock an ancient evil. What's going on, bitches? It is I, Kingsicle. Welcome to my IPA Season 7 draft analysis. Now, I wasn't actually planning on doing one of these, but I saw my friends doing them, so I decided, you know what? That wouldn't be the worst idea. So here we are. Now, let's see. I feel like I had something to say here, but I kind of forgot, so I might just get into the team. Now, first round, I was looking to take the best thing on the board, actually. So I was looking through the okay, best thing on the board, but I didn't need to spend a lot of money, you know. I got those 100 points, but we gotta spend them wisely. So I just decided I spent one of them on the greatest value pick of all time. Because when you look at Dugong and you look at these stats, look at them, like they're all like within 30 of like Muse stats. Look at that, very good. And you look at like its move pool, you know, you got the great sets such as, you know, Whirlpool Perish Song. What else? Like Choice Banded Drill Run with Fake Out. There's so many things Dugong can do, really. Now, I really just drafted it because I needed, honestly, the best thing to do first round for me, at least, is to just find the best thing on the board, like 100% of the time. And, well, in this case, it was Dugong, to be completely honest. I can't really even say much about it because, like, it's Dugong, dude. This thing will annihilate teams. It looks at a team funny, boom, team's been evaporated. The team is gone. Yeah, there's my first round pick. Now, second round, obviously, you know, there were some things off the board that I wanted for like my next round pick. You know, I wanted such great Pokemon such as, you know, like Walrein, to just kind of add on to this core. This core I was building in my mind, you know, like Dugong, Walrein. What breaks that? I don't know. You'd need like Mamoswine. What's another Pokemon with great coverage? Like Mamoswine, Naganadel. You need both of them on the same team. You need like that kind of coverage. Yeah. Next Pokemon, I was looking, and I just decided, you know, what's something that goes well with Dugong? Dugong, you know, has this resistance to fire with this thick fat ability, and it's very thick, you know, very thick guy. So I was like, you know, I could get something weak to fire. I was looking at like maybe Mega, like a Scizor or a Ferrothorn or a Ferroseed or something like that. But I decided to just settle on a mon that's only like one that's only like one time weak to fire, because I'm not a big fan of like weakness to fire in League, to be honest. But or like 4 times weak to fire, obviously. So I picked up Jirachi. Now Jirachi, you know, it's known to. Okay, I'm gonna stop this fucking charade now because I'm not gonna keep that up. But yeah, Jirachi is probably one of the best Pokemon in League format, if you ask me. Honestly, just because, you know, the obvious set, Thunder Wave. just those two in combination with Serene Grace is just ridiculous. You know, Thunder Wave did get a nerf, but it's still Jirachi. It still does what it does. Its coverage is great, and in a league where, you know, I got like unrestricted Z moves, except for, of course, the great Z Happy Hour. The Z Happy Hour Jirachi will be banned, of course, because that's just stupid and broken, and like Z Evasion is gone. But, you know, I still get the choice to run like all this great coverage, you know. It gets like a lot of actual good coverage, you know. Like it gets like fairy and dragon coverage, and like you know, the elemental punch coverage, grass, fighting, ancient power, you know, you never know. And of course, like, it's dual stat. That's like fantastic coverage, to be honest. So I'm really happy to have this thing. Its typing is Steel Psychic, which is a really good typing. Not personally one of my favorites, actually. Like, I'm not a big fan of the typing, but it's still a great type. If this was like Gen 4 or 5 or what, like right before when they had Steel Resist Dark and Ghost, this typing would be fucking bonkers, but you know, that's fine. Anyway, next Pokemon I was looking. It took a while because I was pick number 11. So it took a while to go all the way from, you know, it went to me, it wheeled back to me, and I got, you know, I got Dugong, I got Jirachi, and then next pick I was like, okay, what's something cool I compare with Jirachi? And I was like, you know, I really want like a strong fairy. Like, that's one thing I really like to emphasize in my drafts. Is like I don't want to have to settle for like an Aromatisse or a Granbull or like something like that. I need like the Mega Gardevoirs, like the Altarias, the Diancies, or the Azumarils in this case, because Azumarill is just a great fairy to have. It's really strong, obviously. Huge power, play rough, does not mess around. You know, obviously, if you're not familiar with Azumarill, huge power will double its attack automatically. So it might look like a weak 218 attack stat is now like a what, 436 or something like that. I don't feel like doing math too much right now. I think that's right though. But yeah, Azumarill's really cool. Water Fairy's really nice typing. There is, you know, resist like fire, dragon, ice. I don't even want to think about anything else that it resists right now. I'm just not feeling it. But, you know, just a great wall breaker, and, you know, it can pivot into some attacks. I'm not going to use it for that very often, I don't think. Its coverage is actually pretty good too. It got Liquidation in Gen 7, which is pretty cool. Just a little bit better than Waterfall, I think. But if I want to get some nice dank flinches, you know, I got the Waterfall. Its coverage, yeah, it leaves it walled to certain things. It does have great priority in Aqua Jet, of course, and Belly Drum, which is just ridiculous. Like, Belly Drum's such a good move on this thing because it's got priority. It's already strong as it is. It has the bulk to set up one most of the time because like 180 bulk is nothing to mess around with, honestly. Like, that's pretty fucking solid. Anyway, next Pokemon. It was looping back to me. Now, I had original plans to go with something else with this pick, but I was looking and I saw one thing that I knew, like, right away, this was not going to make it back to me. Because, like, normally this could be like a first round pick, second round pick, like high second round pick Pokemon. But I saw this like lingering around like the mid 4th round, so I knew it was something that was worth picking up, and I just decided to scoop up Tornadus T. Now, Tornadus T, I've only used it once. I think it's the only Pokemon I've used in my entire draft before in like a league. And you know, last time I used Tornadus T, I wasn't a championship, so it could be good to me. Now, Tornadus T is just great Pokemon. Very high speed, which I like to have. Normally my speed tiers aren't really the best, and I'll admit this team doesn't have the best speed tier either, but you know, having Pokemon with 121 speed is great because it outspeeds, like, you know, the Lotties, like a good amount of electric types. I don't know a lot of speed tiers off the top of my head, but you know, like base 110s, 115, stuff like that. And it outspeeds it pretty easily. Of course, with the Regenerator, you can run like the nice Assault Vest, Tornadus T, which is really good because it can pivot into like strong special attackers that like strong, like grass type special attackers, which aren't really that common. But you know, it's an example. An example is an example. Like a strong. What else does flying resist? Jeez, do you know how fried my brain is right now? If I can't remember the resistances of flying, but you know. If you got like a strong Focus Blast user, you know, just pop that thing in. It'll take a nice hit for you. Strong bug type attacker, you know. But yeah, it'll just pivot in, you know, click like a nice E-turn out. Uh, and then of course with Regenerator you get the HP back. And it still has like the speed to outspeed like the nice wall breakers that you might be facing. And its bulk is actually pretty good too, you know, because you got like 90s 79. That's actually really good for something that's more of like an. I think it does its offensive role just a little bit better with Life Orb, just because strong stab Hurricane with Life Orb is just great. Coming off 110 special attack, which is pretty good actually, you know. And Hurricane is just a great move, aside from that. But yeah, Tornadus T, great Pokemon. Then next round. Yeah, I was following like the whole "I'm not going to get this if I wait" thing, and I saw another Pokemon. I was like, God damn, this would be really cool to have a Regenerator core with. It's a Pokemon I haven't used before, but I've always wanted to because like it's probably like one of the best of its type. And it's just very versatile. I think in League it can check a lot of things if you really want it to. So next pick, I decided to take the Great Tangrowth. Now this was like round 5 Tangrowth, which I thought was pretty good, because normally I see Tangrowth going like 3 or 4 or something like that, but this was like late 5. And you know, I mean Tangrowth, what needs to be said about it? Of course, you got like these great defensive stats with 100, 125, which is just fantastic. Of course, the Regenerator ability. And if you want to run like an Assault Vest set, which is pretty common actually, you know, despite its pretty shitty special defense, you know, you could run like max special defense. I think this is how it's run. I haven't used Tangrowth, of course, but like, you know, 218 multiplied by 1.5, that's pretty good actually. With the Regenerator, you could pivot into certain special attackers. This is pretty good because it actually gives me like a fairly good electric check, which I didn't have so far. You know, it's like Jirachi, Azumarill, Tornadus T, Dugong. Not much really that's going to stop like a strong electric there. So this does give me that. It's not going to be the best at checking electrics really, because it's not like it's not immune. They'll still volt out on it, but it'll provide like a nice switch in. It's like a stronger, like a special attacking. Nah, even physical attacking. What am I saying? Electric type. But yeah, that's Tangrowth. Next Pokemon. This was something I was really excited to use actually. I wanted to finish up at least one of my cores right now, so you know I could finish up, you know, the Fire, Water, Grass with Azumarill and Tangrowth. I could finish up the Fairy Dragon Steel with Jirachi and Azumarill, and I decided to go with the Fairy Dragon Steel. And I was looking, and there was this one dragon that I have always like for the longest time I've wanted to try it, but I've always just seen like, oh shit, there's a Lottie available, or oh shit, somebody just took this. So I've always passed up on it, but this time I decided to drink Dragonite. I think this thing, it's underused for League. I think it could be used a lot more, which is pretty sad because I think it's a great Pokemon. Obviously, it's like extreme speed. Its coverage is just awesome. Like I was looking at this thing before I drafted it, and it's like, oh man, I'm so excited to use like half of this, or less, you know. But you know, I think the inclusion of Z moves really just gave this thing a lot. Of course, when you get like Z Fly, Z Thunder Punch is one that I think is pretty common too. You get the get the elemental punches, Iron Head, fighting moves for like strong steels, and then of course multi-scale along with Dragon Dance is really cool. Just because you could take a hit like a strong, you could even take like a weaker Ice type hit fairly well, get up a Dragon Dance, and then if depending on the situation, you could probably sweep a lot of teams just because base 134 attack is very, very good. Yeah, that's Dragonite. Gotta love this guy, the big fucking chunky dragon dude. Anyway, I'm gonna move on to the next Pokemon. I'll be right back. Oh, I should have lined them all up in the same thing. I'm a fool. Okay, don't look. Don't look. Okay. Next Pokemon, I was looking again at like here. You know what? Okay. Live editing here. Hold up. Alright, yeah. So my next pick, I was really looking and I was like, man, I don't want to run Stealth Rock's Jirachi every week. Like Jirachi is a good rock setter, I believe. Being the great Pokemon it is, of course it'd be good at setting up rocks. but you know, I'm not gonna go in every week saying, okay, I guess I have to run Stealth Rocks Jirachi again. You know, I like to have a little bit more freedom there. I think I could have drafted a few more rockers in the end, to be honest, but like, you know, I don't want to. It's whatever. I don't want to run Jirachi with rocks every week, so I decided to pick up the next one, and you know, I picked up the Great Miltank. With things like Dragonite and Tornadus and Azumarill, I have things that could kind of cover the fighting weakness that Miltank has, which is nice. And then with Thick Fat, I could take like the ice weakness from Tornadus, Tangrowth, Dragonite, which and then like the fire from like Jirachi, Tangrowth, which I think was really good because something like that is really what I'm missing. Like something that can kind of what am I thinking of? Like check like the weaknesses of all of my Pokemon, or just about like, you know. Except for like a Azumarill, it doesn't really beat any of its big checks or anything like that, but whatever. Yeah, Miltank's a really cool Pokemon, and I haven't used it before, obviously, because the only one I've used is Tornadus T, but like, it's got a cool moveset. Body Slam is always a nice move to have in like a defensive Pokemon, just because, or at least like a normal type defensive Pokemon, just because of that chance to paralyze. Its stats are really nice, just with the just about base 100 attack, high defense, high speed. Surprisingly, like I wouldn't think it has a high speed because it's a cow, but you know, whatever works. I don't really care. Having Stealth Rocks and like Heal Bell too is also really nice for like a cleric, in case, you know, like I get like a burned Azumarill or a burned Jirachi, or like Toxic on Tornadus or Tangrowth or one of my later Pokemon. This will be really cool to have around. You know, if you want to run like a nice Curse Miltank set is also pretty sick. Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even say Recovery yet. Recovery is just fantastic to have on a wall like this. Not a wall, but like a nice little like bulky rock setter, because that means it has a little more longevity than say like well, I was gonna say like Tornadus T or Tangrowth, but they have regen. But some of my later defensive Pokemon don't really have recovery at all, so you know, they might not last as long as this thing is going to. But you know, we're sitting good with Miltank. I really like Miltank. It used to be one of my favorite Pokemon back at the good old days, but I kind of got sick of it after a while. Okay, next Pokemon. I was looking at my opportunities for removing rocks. I started to more focus on Hazard the last like 5 picks, because it's like, oh damn, you know, I had one rock setter in Jirachi and one hazard remover in Tornadus T, and you know, like Tornadus T doesn't want to run Defog every week. I already said, you know, Jirachi doesn't want to rocks every week or whatever I was saying. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick up a nice Rapid Spin or a nice Defog or something like that. I was looking on the board and I just saw Hitmontop and took it, because honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Hitmontop, if I'm being completely honest, but like, if it's there, it's there. It's a better spinner than Hitmonlee, so at least I think. You know, Hitmontop isn't a bad Pokemon. It's just not my favorite. If I get a chance to replace it, I will probably do so. But Intimidate is a cool ability. Its bulk isn't bad. Its HP just leaves a lot to be desired. Its defense allows it to switch into Pokemon pretty easily, just because, you know, Intimidate. But Rapid Spin, does it really need much? Do I really have to go into much more? Because honestly, with Hitmontop, it's like, okay, I got Rapid Spin, I got Close Combat, I got maybe Toxic. I don't even know what to put in this last slot because it just doesn't do much else. Yeah, you know, we'll throw leftovers on there. There you go, buddy. But yeah, Hitmontop, that'll be one of my spinners. Okay, next Pokemon, I still needed a Mega. I would like more rocks, and I didn't have a fire type yet. And that leaves me with like literally one option for all 3 of those things to like kind of just take care of all 3 of those. Like, I don't need a Mega, but I like to have Megas because it's cool to try them all out. But next Pokemon is a Pokemon I've never tried before, of course, with Mega Camerupt. Now, Mega Camerupt is sick. I don't care what you say, dude. This thing is so fucking cool. Like, I get it, its speed is low. Haha, very funny. But like, Sheer Force, Earth Power, and Fire Blast are really cool. Its bulk is very, like, I feel like its bulk is something that's underutilized with it, because Fire Ground isn't the worst typing in the world. Like, Fire's a pretty good defensive type, and Ground, you know, bulky grounds are pretty much everywhere. Yeah, they're very common. You know, in like League format, they're nice to have. Check electrics and stuff like that. It does get rock, or yeah, stealth rocks. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, like it's what am I trying to say here? Like it gets good utility too. You know, you get like wisp, you get like roar for setup sweepers. If you want to run like, yeah, that's probably it. Never mind. Oh, yawn can be pretty cool actually. To be honest with you, like just force a switch if well, I don't know when I'd ever use that, but you know, someday it might come. Someday. Yeah, Mega Camera was pretty cool. I'm excited to use it. I've been looking, and I expect it to come a good number of weeks. Expect 15 kills from this guy. Okay, next Pokemon, I wanted to grab another spinner. And I figured, you know, I'd also like a bulky water. Like a Azumarill is pretty bulky, but I'm not going to use it as like, you know, I'm facing like a what am I thinking of? Like a strong physical, no, strong special like fire type or something. So I'm facing like a Charizard Y, which, you know, not many water types check Charizard Y very well, but you know, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I gotta find something to switch into this thing. A Azumarill won't be the best option just because, like, you know, it's bulky, but it's not going to be invested in bulk. So I picked Tentacruel because, you know, obviously Rapid Spin is a great move that it gets Scald. And also gets some hazard with Toxic Spikes, which I thought was really nice to have on my team. And it's bulk with like 120 special defense. My team's pretty physically bulky, you know, already with like Tangrowth and Miltank hit on top. So I just decided, you know, I might as well get some like special bulk in there as well. To kind of take care of like those strong fire types, like maybe like fighting types, stuff like that. Doesn't really take care of those too well, just because its defense could be a bit better. But you know, I listen, guys, I can't explain these Pokemon very well because I don't use them a lot. So just like just give me a chance, man. You know, it does get some cool tech with knockoff, haze, and its coverage isn't that bad, I guess, too, because you get like Giga Drain, Dazzling Gleam, Ice Beam, and then, you know, Stab. But, you know, Tentacruel's a really cool Pokemon. I have wanted this every time I try to draft it. I'm always like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna draft Tentacruel this season because it's a spinner and it's a nice water type. And then every time I'm just like, okay, here it is. Here's Tentacruel, and then it's gone. Like always the pick before me. I'm talking about you, fucking Christian. Season 5. I swear to God, dude, that pissed me off. Love you. Yeah, Tentacruel, whatever. Okay, last book. I don't even know what to say anymore, so I'm just rushing it out. Next pick, I had 4 points, so I borrowed one from Matt. Thank you, Matt. And I just picked Manectric because electric types are cool. Okay, anyway, so I'm just gonna let me get on the dock. Let me get on the dock for no, it's not that one. No, yeah, it wasn't. Dock for IPA really quick. And then I'm just gonna like show you. No, well, here's our week 1 battle. Hopefully you can see that, but we play Gareth. There it is, league table. Yeah, here's us. Our division is me, of course, Gareth, Brian, and Matt. Very fun division. I've never played Gareth before, and Brian's just a guy I always like to play because Brian's my good buddy. Yeah, I'm really excited to play all these people because, you know, Matt I've only battled once, and that was like in my most discouraged season of all time, season 5, when I started off like 0-5, and then I just like started to give up a little bit. But you know what? Whatever. It'll be fun playing again. Week 4, however, I think we need to talk about this, guys. Green Bay Wolfpackers, Los Angeles Lookers. Now, I'm not normally one that likes to take free wins, but in this current situation, I think I might just have to, because Jarrett has wronged us in the past. During this draft, he took Walrein from us. In Season 4 of the IACL, he stole the championship from me. So, I'm sorry, Jarrett, but like, you know, we'll just type that in right now. Not needed. Because really, like, oh fuck, I should probably hang on. Oh, yo, you can't see this. You can't see this, but like, not needed because it's basically confirmed already. Jarrett is going to be smashed by me. Um, he will he will meet a fury so impossibly strong, it will toss him into the pit of Mount Vesuvius. So I just want you to know, Jarrett, be wary, for I will annihilate you. Okay, I think that's gonna wrap up this whole thing. Goodbye, everybody.